from this bridge for raping a white woman who he had never even met. Welcome to White Black History, things you weren't taught in school that are part of your everyday life. Today, we're going to talk about the Ed Johnson Memorial. So this memorial I pass all the time. I actually cross the bridge, which is part of the memorial itself, pretty constantly. Ed Johnson was just one of 4,400 people who were lynched between 1857 and 1950. Those are the known ones. There's probably, absolutely guaranteed, thousands more. Now this bridge connects the north and south end. The north end was primarily African American, the south end was industrial and white. Ed Johnson was a laborer. He worked on this end of the shore, but he lived on the other. A local man accused him, incorrectly, of raping a woman who he had never met for a bounty of $375. He was just trying to collect the reward. Multiple black and white witnesses confirmed that he was working at the time of the event. He gets arrested, he gets taken to jail, and a mob forms outside. Then they move him from Chattanooga to Nashville, which is 4 hours as of current vehicle times. After that, the mob attacked that jail. Now, a sheriff and a judge were up for re-election at this time. That's important because they were supposed to be tough on black crime at this time. Mr. Johnson gets assigned 3 Caucasian attorneys, only one of which was ever handled a criminal case. Ed Johnson is tried by an openly hostile group of white Chattanoogans. People who were from where the crime happened, who don't look like him, with preconceived notions. And you were white in 1906. There's no way you weren't racist. The judge bypasses all these people saying it wasn't him, gives him a guilty verdict, sentences him to death. I'm going to read you an exact quote. His lawyers advised him to accept the sentence, recommending it was better to die in an orderly way, better than to appeal and face the lynch mob. Bonus points. A white attorney named Noah Pardon, who was already working the case, convinced the most prominent black attorney in the area at the time, Styles Hutchins, to jump on the case. I don't want to get this part wrong, so I'm going to read it. Styles then unsuccessfully appealed to the Tennessee Supreme Court, and then they petitioned to the United States Supreme Court based on the fact that the fair trial had been violated. This led to him being one of the lead black counsels for the first time ever in a Supreme Court case. However, as history has shown us, they decided at the Supreme Court level that death sentence it is. At this time, they stayed his execution, and a sheriff was assigned to ensure his safety while they potentially reconsidered the verdict. That was March 18th. The very next day, a white mob storms in. Literally storms into the jail. Sledgehammers, crowbars, whatever it took, they break into the cell. Those are actual tools used. They dragged Ed Johnson 6 blocks, bound in rope, to hang him from this bridge, only to unload all of their rifles into him as he hung until their rifles severed the rope. I'm going to read you this last part. Hamilton County Sheriff Joseph Shipp had taken no action to protect Johnson. Despite rumors of a lynch mob, he had given most of his deputies the night off and refused to seek reinforcements from the National Guard or city police. After a reporter alerted him to the attack in progress at the jail, he walked into the jail and stood by as they assaulted and took this man out for his lynching. This was the first and only trial held in the Supreme Court's history in the entire United States. That sheriff and 5 other parties were found guilty. They all served very brief prison sentences, and then upon returning home, this sheriff was greeted with what was known as a hero's welcome and was instantly re-elected into sheriff. 2,000 people attended Ed Johnson's funeral, and both of the attorneys who supported him had to flee from Chattanooga based on the threats they were receiving for their lives. But that's white black history, right?
The book of Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. and I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers, and they shall fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. Ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known amongst them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, that they shall know that I am the Lord. Kal halayam, la alahayana wa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Bakaha Kodash. This will be the judgment of Esau, Edom. Let them see their crimes against us. Let them see their crimes against us. Shalom Yasharallah.